This is #Africa. While Ethiopia's hopes to become the continent's biggest power supplier could be placed on hold, the country has asked the United States to postpone what was to be the final talks on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which was to be a resolution for a long year's dispute with Egypt over access to water.
Ethiopia has asked the United States to postpone what was expected to be the final round of talks on its giant Blue Nile hydropower dam, delaying the potential resolution of a dispute that sparked a years-long diplomatic crisis. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam had raised fears in neighbouring Egypt that its already scarce supplies of Nile water would be further restricted by the $4 billion project, located near Ethiopia's border with Sudan. Last month, Egypt, Ethiopia and Sudan said they would sign an agreement by the end of this month to end their differences over the filling and operation of the dam. The final round of talks was due to take place in Washington on Thursday and Friday, but a spokesman for Ethiopia's Ministry for Water, Irrigation and Energy confirmed the requested delay on Wednesday, saying they needed more time for consultations without providing details. The dam is the centrepiece of Ethiopia's ambition to become Africa's biggest power exporter, and Addis Ababa has denied it will undermine Egypt's access to water. There was no immediate comment from Egypt and Sudan.
Staying in East Africa, well, as swarms of locusts rapidly multiply, a lack of supplies means that East African countries are struggling to contain the plague that is threatening food security for millions of people.
In northern Kenya, the next generation of locusts has already been born. But as the plague multiplies and spreads across East Africa and the Horn of Africa, governments hit by violence or a lack of supplies are struggling to hold back the tide. In a region where 19 million people already go hungry, the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization representative to Kenya, Dr. Tobias Takavarasha, says it's a disaster that eclipses all others.
It is a big threat. It is the biggest threat. Much as we say drought is a threat, much as we say that floods can be a threat, but if you are trying to rank them, I think they're all threat, but desert locust situation is an unprecedented threat on food security.
A single square kilometre swarm can eat as much food in a day as 35,000 people. And the FAO warned last month that, left unchecked, the number of locusts in East Africa could explode by 500 times by June. When eggs hatch, as they have been doing recently in Kenya's Archer's Post, the young locusts, or hoppers, are earthbound for 2 weeks and are more vulnerable to spraying. But this month, Kenya, the region's wealthiest and most stable country, ran out of pesticide for about a week and a half, leaving residents and farmers to watch helplessly as the crops they count on to feed their families were devoured.
It's disturbing because we've never seen anything like this, and also when they land on vegetation, they eat everything, even the grass. If this continues, they will eat all the vegetation.
In neighbouring Uganda, the military has been deployed, hand-spraying trees in the morning before locusts take flight. Somalia, where the infestation was first reported in December, can't provide security to exterminators. Ethiopia needs 500,000 litres of pesticide for the upcoming harvest and planting season. But the country's single pesticide factory is struggling to produce its maximum 200,000 litres as foreign exchange shortages have delayed the purchase of chemicals.
The pesticides are available, but the pesticides require financial resources before they can be released.
The FAO says containing the plague will cost at least $138 million US. So far, donors have pledged $52 million.
Well, before the break, let's take a look at other news and views coming from the continent of Africa. Rap music in Uganda, fashion in Paris, and African crops in the Arctic. All these and other details when #Africa returns.